Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Tiger Talk. We're joined again with our head football coach, John Cudd. Coach, let's just jump right into what happened last week. We knew that Northwest Whitfield was a really good football team. They'd only been beaten in region by Calhoun the week before we played them. And we had talked last time together about you were looking for our team to put everything together into one game. And just looking from what I got to observe, outside of about the first 5 minutes of the game, we did just that Friday night. Was super
Absolutely.
impressed with the way that our kids played on both sides of the ball. I thought our game plans on both sides of the ball were outstanding. So just talk to me about that big win, 33-17 win over a really good Northwest team.
Well, we got down 14-0 right off the bat, and really, it was one of those things where you work something all week, and you're telling your kids, "Hey, man, we can't give up the big throw or the big pass," and they hit us early on it. And the second one was really, they caught us, they snapped it quick on us, and they just kind of slipped him out there off of a little run fake. But we didn't flinch, and
Right.
that was trying to take on that demeanor of let's control what we can control. Let's move forward. We go down and score, onside kick. So all those things that that we preach to our kids, and the kids didn't flinch. I told them after the game that I've been doing this 23 years. I don't think I've ever been as proud of a group of kids
Sure.
as I was Friday night. And really the way the game started, that's part of it. But the fact that where we started this year. Things didn't go well at the beginning. We got a lot of guys that's, getting that first varsity experience. And when I say a lot of guys, I mean a lot of guys. But
Absolutely.
To see them grow up over the last few weeks, I mean, we won 4 of the last 5 ball games. And, really just coming to our own, we got to keep it going, and how now we've handled the bad part of the season. How are we going to handle the success
Absolutely.
we're having now? And that's what we've spent a lot of time on this week, because we've got to handle the success. Just to keep talking for a moment, you really want to enjoy that win because it was big, and it sets you up and it puts you in a great position to host a playoff game if things go well the next couple of weeks. I woke up Saturday morning and I'm like, crap, man, we got Gilmer. So we're going to go from 4 and 5 wide to what Gilmer does, and it's a hard deal to, going from one extreme to the other. So, no rest for the weary. We have, worked our tails off to try to put a good game plan together to give ourselves a chance up there, because they're playing for their playoff chances in their lives, and that's what we're, really trying to focus our kids on, is that we're going to get their best effort.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head. Just a few more comments on Northwest. It was good to see that, and you said the word or the phrase, "we never flinched," and you could see that in the game. And a lot of times I want to give a comparison, and I know neither one of us are Georgia fans per se, but you have to respect what Georgia does, and something very similar is that they just keep playing.
Right.
And that's something that we always try to teach to our football players, all of our athletes, regardless of how the first part of the game goes. Whether you're up 14, down 14, you just have to keep playing.
Right.
And that was great to see, because our guys on both sides of the ball, I remember saying something to Coach Reese on the sideline about the third quarter. I said, "Coach, they can't run the football against us right now." So you could kind of sense the game was really moving in our direction, and kind of how we started controlling the line of scrimmage and doing some of those things. But there's no doubt Northwest, they are a good football team, and they'll go on to have some success for the remaining part of the season. But you're right, we've got Gilmer, and we're going to Gilmer, and a totally different dynamic. We faced a Northwest team on offense, as you said, quarterback running all over the place in the shotgun, spread it out. We know what Gilmer's going to do, and Coach Standard, they've done that for a long time, and they've done it pretty well. So a team that we're familiar with from the playoffs a few years ago, played them last year. So just talk to our audience. I know that you know this, and I know this, having played in the option offense. What type of challenges does an option team propose to a defense?
No, there's no doubt. Well, I discipline and just trusting each other to do their job. And that's the thing, you know, we see so much spread. Everybody is running spread, whether you're watching the pro game or the college game. You just don't see this a whole lot. So, you know, some of our kids, I wonder if they've ever seen a guy take a snap under center.
You're right.
You know, so it hits so quick, it's hard to mimic at practice. You know, you're trying to give them the look and to show how fast it's going to be. And you really don't know until you get out there and the ball snaps for the first time. So we've been super creative this week with our practice plans and how we've you know, tried to mimic and do some things with it this week. And you know, they're still a good football team. You know, they're the same. They're a little, I'd say, a little more balanced this year. They threw the ball against Calhoun, which gives you some worry because when they pack everybody in and they play action out of it,
Right.
it's a scary thing. So you've got to really have your eyes in the right place, and you know, so that's the worry going in, is just making sure our kids are focused and have those eyes in the right place.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head, being disciplined. If I've got dive, I've got dive. I'm a quarterback player. And then not getting lulled to sleep on a play action, something over the top. So defensively, we know they're going to be hard-nosed. We know they're going to be physical, like Gilmer teams always are. So going up to LJ this Friday night in a huge region contest. So, Coach, we're getting towards the end of the season here. Gilmer tomorrow night, Heritage coming to our place for senior night. So these next 2 weeks could be huge in what it would look like for playoffs, have the potential to finish 2, win out, and do some things. So this is an exciting time for our high school football team. So we need you to get behind our coaches and our players. We need a big crowd up there at Gilmer to travel up there. And then obviously when we play here next week against Heritage for senior night. So this is, and it's getting football weather.
Yes, sir.
Finally.
Yes, sir.
Last week, Friday, it was hot all day, but hopefully the weather trend continues, and so we'll get up there in the mountains of LJ and have a good night of Friday night football. Don't forget, competition cheer team will be competing at Dalton on Saturday, and so we definitely wish them well. They absolutely killed it on Saturday at the competition that we hosted, so very good job to our competition cheer team. Had a good crowd there. And so Coach Forsyth and her staff are doing an amazing job. So keep it up, ladies. And Coach, we're going to go to Gilmer on Friday. But today, we get the JV Tigers in the season finale against Northwest. So that game originally was scheduled for Northwest. Some conflicts that they had. So we're bringing it here to Tiger Stadium today at 5:30. And so if you want to get out and watch your JV Tigers one more time, and they've coached, I'd say the same thing with our JV as our varsity. We just kept getting better with that group as well. So that's been a fun group to watch this year. We're looking forward to what they're going to do next year moving forward as well. So, Coach, always a pleasure to have you on the show. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night at Gilmer County as the Tigers travel to take on the Bobcats in a huge region contest. Go Tigers.